Hello and welcome to another Power Score prediction video. So today we're going to be predicting every Week 5 NFL game, and we're also going to be using Power Score, which is my metric I created to determine how good or bad a team is, with 0 being average. And let's get into this. Last week, I didn't do very well at all. Power Score didn't either. Went 7-8-1. Overall, still 2 games ahead of Power Score. First up, we have the Thursday night game tonight with San Francisco against the Rams. The 49ers are coming off a close loss to the Jaguars, and their offense looked a little rough. The Rams are coming off an important win against the Colts. They maybe got a little bit lucky, but a lot is looking impressive still. I think that they deserve that win, though. I'm going to be taking the Rams, and so does Power Score. Rams are ranked 6th in Power Score compared to 49ers 15th, so, Next, we're going to be looking at the Vikings against the Browns. The Vikings, they could have won against Pittsburgh. They were kind of let into the final minutes of that game, still in it. Their defense continues to look good. The Browns, their new starting quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, who knows how good he's going to be. I still like the Vikings defense to limit this Browns offense, and I'm going to take the Vikings, and so does Power Score. Now we have the Cowboys against the Jets. The Cowboys tied with the Packers last week, which is quite funny. The offense continues to look good. Defense continues to look bad for them. The Jets, they've played in many close games, but they haven't won any yet. Seemed a little bit of unfair officiating on Monday, but I still don't think that they're a very good team. And Power Score agrees with me. I'm going to pick the Cowboys, and so does Power Score. Now we have the Giants against the Saints. The Giants, they just beat the Chargers, and there might be some new life in this offense with Jackson Dart. The Saints, they're not terrible, but they're far from good. Spencer Rattler looks pretty okay. I'm still going to take the Giants, though, and so does Power Score. I'm agreeing a lot with Power Score this week. And next we have the Raiders against the Colts. Geno is not looking good, and when he threw all those interceptions this week, otherwise the team seemed okay against the Bears. For the Colts, they're coming off a close loss to the Rams. They probably should have won that game if it weren't for the fumble through the end zone. That was pretty rough. I'm going to take the Colts still. I think they're just a better team, and Power Score agrees with me. Colts are 5th overall still. They took a bit of a step back after that loss, but they're still among the better teams. Now we have the Dolphins against the Panthers. The Dolphins, they won a game. It was the Jets, but they won. The Panthers, I don't know what's going on with Carolina. They shut out the Falcons one week and get blown up by the Patriots the next. Who knows what they're going to be this year. I'm going to take the Dolphins, actually, and the Power Score's taking the Panthers. I'm taking the Dolphins because they're coming off a win. Panthers are coming off a blowout. I don't know how good either of these teams are, really, but I'm taking the Dolphins. Now we have the Broncos against the Eagles. The Broncos, they looked very, very good against the Bengals. The Eagles, they looked good for the most part against the Buccaneers. They have won more than the Broncos and against better competition. So I'm going to play it safe and go with the Eagles, and Power Score is also going with the Eagles. Now we have the Texans against the Ravens, both 1-3 teams that are struggling this year, going below expectations so far. The Texans, they finally won, although it was against the Titans. Their defense is looking really, really good. The Ravens, it's a rough start to the season. Lamar Jackson is out, probably. This might be close, but Ravens still have Derrick Henry. I'm going to take the Ravens, and Power Score's taking the Texans, actually. Now we have the Titans against the Cardinals. The Titans, they look bad, and they could not score against the Texans. Can't blame them too much because Texans have a good defense, but still, put up 0 points. The Cardinals, they almost came back against Seattle. maybe the offense has found a spark. Maybe they'll get on a roll after that, but I still think they're much better than the Titans. I'm going to take the Cardinals, and Power Score is also taking the Cardinals. Now we have the Buccaneers against the Seahawks. This is going to be a very good game. The Buccaneers, they kept it close with Philadelphia. They do have some injuries, though. I'm a little worried about that. Seattle, they still keep getting better each week. They're a balanced team with a very good defense. I'm going to take the Seahawks, and Power Score is also taking the Seahawks. Now we have the Lions against the Bengals. The Lions, they scored 34 against the Browns, which it is the Browns, but the Browns have a very good defense, and so that just tells me that the Lions have a very good offense. The Bengals, they only scored 3 against the Broncos, which the Broncos also have a good defense, but 3 points just isn't very good. They allowed 28 points, but it could have been even more than 28. This game just seems like a huge mismatch. I'm taking the Lions, and Power Score thinks no question either. Detroit being ranked 2nd and Cincinnati 31st. Alright, now we have the Commanders against the Chargers. The Commanders, they lost to the Falcons. I don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to be in this week, but it seems like he might be. Before he went out, he wasn't playing amazingly, but I'm just not sure what the Commanders are yet as a team. The Chargers, they lost to the Giants. I think they will bounce back. I think they're still a good team. I'm going to take the Chargers. Power Score agrees with me, although I do think that this Commanders team will start improving once Jaden Daniels is back. Alright, now we have the Patriots against the Bills. The Patriots, they blew out the Panthers. It was still just the Panthers. The Bills, they took care of business against the Saints. It looked a little scary for a second, but I still think that they're one of the best teams. This week I put in strength of victory and strength of schedule for Power Score, and that dropped the Bills a couple spots, but I still think that they're a good team. I'm taking the Bills, and Power Score is also taking the Bills. Finally, we have the Chiefs against the Jaguars. This one is interesting. The Chiefs, they looked like their old selves against the Ravens. Still not completely convinced after one good week, but I think that they're going to keep improving. The Jaguars, their defense is creating a lot of turnovers. Their offense is a little iffy still, but I think that the Chiefs are still better. At least better than the 49ers are right now. So I'm going to take the Chiefs, and Power Score is taking the Jaguars. So a lot of agreement this week. We'll see next week if one of us does better than the other. Thanks. Subscribe.